Welcome to the RJI Futures Lab, where we help you make your organization more innovative. I'm Ruben Stern. This week, a window into the operation of Vox Media. Vox Media is part of an emerging generation of well-funded online publishers, all seeking to capture a mass audience for digital content. Like others, Vox Media is fueled by its own unique mix of technology and journalistic thinking. The company's leader, Jim Bankoff, says a key component is also the collaborative culture.
At Vox Media, you can think of us in three parts, really. One part is we produce 7 big consumer brands, consumer titles, across 7 big content verticals. The second part is how we make money, which is around premium brand advertising, digital advertising, and branded content. The third part is the technology and the product platform that underlies all of it. It's called Chorus. But Chorus is instrumental in both helping us create quality editorial content and distribute that and help it find its audience in the most engaging way. Product is foundational to everything that we're doing, and it's not just about the ones and zeros of the code that we create. It's about design as well, but it's more fundamentally about the culture that we're creating, understanding that the experience is in its totality is the product, and so how do we create the best possible experience? That experience is a combination of the reporting, but also the design. Also, how is the ad placed and does the ad work? And so in that sense, advertising is part of the experience. That's different than saying advertising should influence the journalism. Of course it doesn't. If that happens, you're dead and you don't have a business, let alone an audience. Having said that, you would also be negligent to think that a consumer who is looking at a phone is not impacted by the advertisement. We really value a culture that is interdisciplinary. We think that gets the best results for our audiences and for our advertisers. And so on any given day, you'll see our technologists, our designers working really closely with our storytellers, our journalists to help them figure out how to express their ideas in the most compelling way. In our company, we try to have 3 seats at the table that incorporates the people who are the storytellers, the people who make money to support the organization, and then the people who are technologists and product innovators. And it's really the synthesis and the harmony that that defines our culture. Generally speaking, you want to understand is it finding its audience, and is it finding its audience in a real way, as opposed to it being supported by another initiative or riding the back of another initiative or being subsidized by another initiative. For us as a company that aspires to grow large numbers, we want to make sure that the audience metrics are there, whether that's measured by a combination of audience size or audience engagement. It's about looking at the data, understanding and being honest, and also I think risk is as much about taking the risk to sunset something as it is about taking the risk to launch something, and so being risk-taking in both of those regards.
Vox Media has about 350 total employees across all its brands and departments. Along with this video, you'll find a text transcript of our extended interview with Jim Bankoff. Central to Vox Media is the ability to adapt and evolve its technology. As product manager Lauren Rubino explains, things are set up to move quickly.
One of the interesting and terrifying things about Vox is that we encourage people to experiment, to innovate, and then to also be able to fail and learn from those failings. And the thing that just makes the company sing for me is that product-oriented approach toward everything. Like, product is the core of what we do, and we're a technologically focused company. And so innovation happens everywhere. The editorial side is constantly trying to figure out how they are going to tell a story in a new way, and we're empowering them to do that. We built Vox.com in 9 weeks, from the day we had the idea and brought Ezra Klein in and Melissa Bell to the day we hit publish and did our first big public deploy. That was a 9-week process, which is unheard of. And the reason we were able to do that so successfully is because we didn't obsess over what's the perfect way to display this content and to organize this content, because we didn't know yet. So Vox is really open to the idea of just getting the minimum viable thing out there. Like, what is the baseline that we need in order to function? And then we gather data based on those learns. One cool thing that we do that I'd never experienced before coming to Vox is that we innovate out in the open. And we do a lot of, I think, preventative measures to keep us from doing big projects that completely flop. The Verge, we just did a big responsive redesign. And we did that in 9 months. And first of all, at a traditional media organization, I think that would have taken way longer than 9 months because it was a complete refactor of the code base from the ground up to make it responsive. But what we did is we rolled it out in waves. People within our community, people who read The Verge, and were willing to get kind of a more buggy experience in favor of being able to give The Verge feedback and help shape what the future is. So in rolling out in waves and slowly increasing the number of beta users who had access to that, we were able to collect hundreds of bug reports and feature requests and changes before that thing fully rolled out to the live audience. We couldn't have just gone out there and said, like, hey, who wants to beta test? I don't think there would have been as positive a response, but our editors are always in our comment threads, always responding to questions and engaging with our readers. So I think that the buildup of that was what helped us achieve that really quick, excited feedback as soon as we post the thread about beta testing. We always have to test against what kind of value is added. That question of value is always one that we have to ask, and it seems like a simple question, but if you actually ask it of an editor early on, then you're forced to think of, well, how is this different? Am I just doing this cool design for the sake of doing something flashy because I'm tired of looking at the same template over and over? Or will the readers actually be able to consume the information in a way that helps them live their lives better and also lets us put a cool advertising experience around it? The idea that innovation and experimentation and quickly iterating on a thing, it really happens at Vox, and it happens for everyone in the company.
To facilitate teamwork and cut down on meetings, Vox uses an online tool called Slack to create chat rooms tied to individual projects. There's also an emphasis on ensuring projects are built so they can be repurposed or made into templates later. And that's it for this report from the RJI Futures Lab. I'm Ruben Stern. We'll see you in the future.